Well, I was really pleased with the way our guys came out today. Sometimes we played a little lackluster in games like this, especially this time of year. But I think the players, I told them if you're not inspired to play every play that you play, then you're kind of cheating yourself, because this is about who you are and how you compete. And, I certainly was pleased with the way we went out there and executed well. And, their guys really play well. They believe in what they do, and they do it well. I was surprised that they didn't play, number 4 at quarterback. But I thought our guys did a better job on the option, today, which was hard to simulate. We got to play a lot of players on both sides of the ball. And I think that's something that we really needed to do, in this game, to get those guys some experience, to get more guys, ready to play down the road. Thought it was great to recognize our seniors who have made a tremendous contribution to the program, not only on the field, but obviously in the way they've represented off the field, how well they've done in the classroom, and the kind of ambassadors they've been for the university and the program. So it's great to see the parents here, and it's nice to always honor those guys that have contributed and done so much hard work to help this program be what it is. So questions?
Start here with Aaron.
Nick, right here. Between Bo and Damien, I think they got 19 carries. Was it a goal today to, after the game was taken care of, to get some experience at that position, given Kenyon's?
Yeah, we were, we wanted to, get those guys in the game and get them to play as early and as often as we could. And, both guys, I think, got to play, and we didn't, end up playing Derek that much, but I think it was more important to get the other guys the experience.
Back on the left with Michael.
With Derek, did you have a pitch count in a sense of how many yards or how many runs you hope to get him today?
No, we're just kind of going by the scoreboard. We were going to play Damien early, sort of roll him in. And, so he played early some, and when we got ahead by 28 or 21 or 28 points, then, we were going to kind of, shut some of the guys down and make sure we started giving other guys ample opportunities to develop.
In front with Mark.
Cyrus Jones obviously had a big day today. Just what did you see from him in pretty much all phases?
Well, it's really, we've had issues and problems in the past, trying to get those balls fielded when they rugby punt. We really wanted to do a good job of holding the guys up at the line, which I think we did. And so, put 2 guys back there deep, maybe to, keep the ball from rolling so much. And Mulaney and Cyrus both did a good job of that. The one ball I think actually hit. I saw the beanbag go down, so I think it hit 21, and Cyrus picked it up and ran for a touchdown. And the other one, he done a really good job of, just getting a good hop and fielding the ball. And Cyrus has, got really good running skills. He was a receiver when he first came here and did a really good job at that. And last 2 weeks we've made some big plays in the punt return game, and I think that's something that we want to continue to build on.
Back on the left with Matt.
Nick, just through the 3 games since the bye week, how much do you feel like you guys in all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams, are really starting to hit your stride?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the first part of the question.
I said just since the bye week, in the 3 games since the bye week, how much do you feel like you guys are starting to click, come together, and really hit your stride in all 3 phases?
You're only as good as your last play, so it's not, I like the progress of the team, but, we got to continue to be able to execute and play with consistency, and we obviously got a big challenge playing on the road in a rivalry game. That's one of the best rivalries in the country next week. So we just got to keep trying to improve and focus on, getting better. I said on my radio show the other night that I don't think anybody thought after the Ole Miss game this team would be in the position that they're in right now, which is a tribute to, the good job that the coaches have done and the hard work the players have done to improve and do the things that would allow us to play winning football on a more consistent basis.
In the middle with Dwayne.
Yes, Coach.
We're bringing you a mic.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Coach, you talked about guys getting ready for the games ahead, playing a game like this, moving forward. You feel like your defense is much more prepared to handle what Auburn does offensively?
Well, I'm not prepared to say that right now because I haven't watched them yet. We worked and as coaches to try to do a good job in this game for our players as any other game, and tomorrow we need to start working on that game, and I think it's important that our defense play as well as they're capable of playing against what I know is a very difficult offense to defend, so that they understand what they need to do to be able to defend it, and do a good job of tackling, and everybody playing their responsibility and doing their job. So that's always a challenge when we play this offense.
Right next to him, Alex.
Nick, can you just kind of speak to the offensive efficiency of the first team? They just moved the ball really effectively when they were out there.
Well, we wanted to try to throw the ball a little bit and work on the passing game in this game some. We didn't probably get to do it as much as we like, but when we did do it, I thought the players did a good job of executing. And that's probably something that, from a protection standpoint, from a route running standpoint, from just a consistency standpoint, we need to be able to do that so we can have the kind of balance offensively we need when we play the good defensive teams, which we'll play a good defensive team this week.
In the middle, John.
Derek didn't have a long day today, but he scores 2 touchdowns, ties Trent Richardson's single-season record. Just, I know he's got a couple games left, but what does it just kind of say about the year that he's having?
Well, he's had a great year, and it wasn't his fault that we didn't give him a lot of opportunities today. But he did score a lot of touchdowns, and he's been a very productive player for us. He works hard. He's got a great attitude. He cares a lot about the team. He's a great competitor, and hopefully, he'll continue to be able to finish the year like we'd all like to finish the year. By continuing to be productive and continue to improve.
2 more, back to Mark in the front, and Scott.
Just how's Dominic Jackson feeling? I saw he didn't start the game today.
I thought, Corwin did a really good job. He has developed very nicely at tackle, and we had enough confidence to play him at tackle and leave Brandon play some tight end for us, and I thought he did a nice job out there. So it was good experience for him. He was a defensive player that we moved over in the spring, and he has really, developed and done a nice job. And he's been at left tackle, but we moved him over to right. Dominic, his ankle has just, he hurt it in the Tennessee game. He was able to play against LSU. He was able to play against Mississippi State, but, he struggled, this week to be able to practice as much as we thought he needed to. So we just felt like it would be better that we not play him today and hopefully have a chance to get him healthy for, next week.
Last one, Scott.
Nick, in your experience at Toledo State, LSU here, what do you think is the best way to approach a quote-unquote rival game? Is there a formula you've kind of go on during the week? Or?
Well, I think that you just got to focus on trying to, play your best, and, don't get affected by some of the emotional aspects that sometimes surround these kind of games, and focus on what you need to do to execute and do your job well. And everybody on the team's got to sort of be responsible to do that and have the right mindset to, play the kind of games that these games are when it comes to physical, tough, sort of fights. You got to expect that, in these kind of games. And but I also have seen, these kind of games where guys get, so sort of wired emotionally that they don't do a good job of executing, or they run out of gas at some point, in the game. So I really do think that you got to focus on execution and just playing your best football, and have the expectation it's going to be a really tough game, and you're going to have to fight, for 15 rounds.